if there is to be any chance, you need to see Quid and River playing at their best and on a super aggressive duo where they can really make things happen. That is kind of the recipe to success when 100 Thieves is at their best, and they need to be at their best to even have a chance.
I mean, it's kind of a similar story to what we were talking about in game number 1, wanting to see VKS play aggressively, talking about how it would be the biggest upset in the history of Worlds if they won. I feel like both points are true here in this series as well. 100 Thieves have got to turn those nameplates off. Literally go into the settings, just turn it off. It doesn't matter. You've got to play your game. Bans are already starting. Bard, Azir, Poppy, banned out by 100 Thieves. T1 with the Yunara, Orianna, and Sion.
It's actually not Poppy, so that is a bug. That's what I was trying to get your attention for, because we're in-game in the client. It's an Alistar ban, so it's not a Poppy ban.
Okay.
So it's actually not showing correctly there, so just know that if Poppy is picked, it's not actually banned.
It's like the old school bans that you would do like in Season 1 League of Legends where not everybody had the champions. You just say Poppy is Alistar.
There you go.
That's a throwback.
Wukong first pick, and it's going to be an instant answer of Taliyah Zhao here. So Wukong is very powerful, has been really high prio. Do like it for River, though it doesn't really give them a lot of early action. It does give them some explosive engage. Quid, if he wants the matchup, could just play a control mage. You know, Victor obviously makes sense as far as being able to outrange it, but then you are looking for like scaling 5v5. You're not looking for early action.
The opposite of what we said that we wanted to see.
This would be more what I would want to see is some spiciness here from Quid. Quid has always been a melee mid lane specialist. He can play the control mages really, really well, but this is him at his best, is on the melee champs. So I want to see what they can get done. They're going at best. It's full dive. This is 100 Thieves.
This is what we wanted to see as well. You are not going to lock Victor and play for a 4-item game of League of Legends and beat T1 at it. You're just choosing to play on their territory, and for 100 Thieves, it's got to be fast, it's got to be furious, they got to play like family, and that's what I want to see here in this first game.
We often describe it, especially for fans that tune in mainly for international events, but we often describe this type of confidence as turning the nameplates off, where 100 Thieves don't care about the legacy of T1, they don't care about who they're playing against the Rift, they care about playing their game and looking to execute on the game day. The Renekton going to be the answer, a very effective champion into the Ambessa on the top side.
Faker might have won 5 world championships, but that doesn't matter because 100 Thieves can't read. So they can't even, they don't know. This team, man, is a lot of fun to watch. 100 Thieves definitely one of my favorite teams to watch in the LTA. We're able to go from 0 to hero, right? You know, they were struggling. They were in dead last. Dhokla joined the team, and they're able to make it all the way to the finals weekend in LTA, go to Worlds, upset BLG, and then they're rewarded with the most brutal gauntlet of teams imaginable here. And we'll see if they can kind of keep this last dance running, because we honestly thought we had seen the last of 100 Thieves so long ago. We never even thought they were going to sniff Worlds, let alone make it here and take down the LPL #1 seed.
I mean, you're right on the money. They started out Summer Split with just like a winless record. They swapped Dhokla into the starting roster, and they've just been on this streak ever since, just this miracle run for the team, as they're going to go ahead and ban out 2 supports here in the Karma and the Nico, 2 very powerful laning supports, which again tells me they want to play early, they want to play fast, they don't want to allow T1 a point of power in the bottom lane. T1 going to go ahead, ban out the Ziggs, ban out the Rakan to get rid of some additional engage to go along with the powerful dive already drafted by 100 Thieves, and Corki is the pick for Gumayusi.
And I just think banning out, you know, these 2 supports makes a lot of sense, because you have to blind pick your bot lane, right?
Yes.
So you do not want to walk into a really dominant support matchup, you know, as this 5th pick counter pick here from Keria. Lucian getting hovered. I feel like I believe more the Sivir when you're talking about the pairing with all these melee champions. I could see Sivir, I could see Jhin, I could see things along those lines that could kind of support and buff up what we are seeing in these first 3 picks from 100 Thieves. But we'll see where they want to go.
Okay, so apparently the Poppy was Poppy, and it's the in-game client that we have
client that's bugged?
on the laptop that's bugged. Because
that's
the laptop
new.
currently says Alistar is banned and picked, but Alistar got picked, so he couldn't have been banned. So yes, Poppy is actually Poppy. Poppy is not Alistar. Alistar is Alistar.
How was the spectator client not bugged, but the in-game client is bugged?
Don't know. Don't worry about it.
That is crazy.
Don't worry about it. It's fine. It's fine. We're not going to worry about it. It's Alistar Varus for 100 Thieves here in the bottom bottom lane. They are still throwing in yet another powerful diver here for Eyla with the Alistar. And the answer for T1, we're still waiting to find out. Yeah, Braum, I feel like for such full dive coming out from 100 Thieves, for all of these melee champions, it's a 4 melee comp. Braum feels so strong for Keria, but also they're going to lock in the Leona instead.
Okay.
So Braum would have been good into the composition that 100 Thieves have, but T1 would have no way to reliably engage onto their opposition. They could have relied on the fact that 100
like someone
Thieves...
who hasn't seen Faker's seismic shoves this tournament.
Okay. My point is, though, that by bringing out the Leona, they at the very least have ways to start fights on their footing rather than relying on 100 Thieves to be the initiators in these fights.
Big Dokes making a lot of fans of this tournament. Some of his vlogs I had seen on some of the Chinese social media sites had like over 6 million views.
Yeah.
So definitely buying a lot of fans for himself here. He's been great ever since he's come back, into the LCS, into pro play. I remember interviewing him and talking to him the first week back, and he talked about how he wanted to make the most out of his second kind of lease on life as a pro, that he really regretted, not being himself coming into this second time. Wanted to change that, but up against T1 here, this team, yes, they are 1-2, but you never, ever can count them out. I still have that feeling like they could just win the World Championship. They could start that run right here, right now. And Oner has been absolutely incredible. We have multiple T1 skins locked in 400 Thieves, though, against T1. I love it, man. We got T1 Sylas, T1 Varus. Was there any others?
I didn't keep track. All I saw was that T1, they're bringing out the most recent T1 skins.
So, all right, we're ready to lock into this one. Game number 1, 100 Thieves versus T1. Elimination on the line. We started the last series off with a couple of fun stats, and here in this one, if you're a T1 fan, you'd be happy to know that Oner is 1 game shy of a 75% win rate on Xin Zhao in pro play. He is 50-17 on this champion. Very, very effective on it, as we're already scrapping a little bit here in the mid lane.
And I mean, that is terrifying. Oner, I think, has just been incredible. And at the center of all the early game action here, for T1, when you look at them in the LCK, Oner has just been an absolute monster. And you have to be able to kind of keep him down if you want to have any sort of success against T1. As Keria able to sidestep there. Hits him with the deaf thumbs up. One of my favorite emotes, actually, the deaf llama thumbs up.
I always enjoy when both players emote at the miss, because FBI also gave him the Keck W Braum to show, yep, I guess I missed that one. But I do want to see how this bottom lane goes. Varus, we always know, is traditionally a powerful laner, but Alistar, the exact opposite.
Absolutely true. We'll see how things pan out in the bottom side of the map. Now for T1, they find themselves in unprecedented waters as well. This is the first time in the history's organization that they have ever lost 2 games, and not only the Swiss stage, but also the group stage.
Yeah.
You can see on your screen right now, this is their 10th world appearance, and this is the only time in the organization's history that they've lost 2 games.
I mean, the stat alone sounds like dire, but then when you keep in mind that it is 10 years, a decade of worlds for T1, and this is the first time that they've lost that second game before we get to the knockout stage, it does probably cause a little bit of nervousness in some fans, but T1 at Worlds is a different kind of monster, as Quid is down to 200 HP. Faker probably trying to at least force a flash here, throws another rock, and Quid has to flash level 2.
Yeah, just really nice unraveled earth there from Faker. Quid was trying to play around the level up timer, and he got caught as he E'd in to try to kill that last minion to get level 2. Faker had the E down right away. He goes into it, gets stunned, and that is a horrendous start for Quid. His buy is a refillable. He's down a flash, faced with 5 CS. Not the start you want, especially when, when people talk about strengths of T1, it is not Faker's laning phase that is generally looked at as one of them.
Yeah, I mean, this matchup was already going to be rough for Quid early on. I thought that maybe the good news was that at the very least they trade TPs, because it's still a very early TP coming through from Faker as well.
Only gonna grab.
You're welcome, man.
It's just that the early laning phase was so easy, he wanted to amp the difficulty.
Oh, that's true.
It's like when you start a new game, you're like, maybe I'll try a normal, but it's a little bit too easy, so you put it up to hard.
Because I really thought that
Quid's
Faker actually could have just walked back to lane. He didn't necessarily need to TP, but he is going to use it. He wants to make sure that he doesn't miss a drop of CS, as he does have about a 5 CS advantage. But a skirmishing happening in the bot side of the map.
Yeah, quick trade onto Keria, but again, it's Leona. She's so tanky. Heals used there immediately by both supports just for extra laning power. Gumayusi's barrier blocks most of the hit there from FBI's piercing arrow.
FBI did a really good job. He had blight stacks on both of them, was able to pop both of those blight stacks. They got off the heal and the barrier. Guma is really low now.
Yeah, FBI still looking. As you can also see, River is hovering around down this area. So 100 Thieves, they feel confident pushing up, but up in the top side, it's Doran and Oner looking for the dive onto Big Dokes, and it's first blood over to T1.
Now that is what a clean dive looks like. No wasted movements from T1. An easy first blood secure. And Dhokla, there is very little he could do. Expended the flash as well, but it wasn't enough to get him to safety.
And you can see the kill went onto Oner, so he's up 300 gold. But Doran, just because he got that wave crashed in, Dhokla dies as the wave is dying to the turret. So now Doran's up over 300 gold as well. Really good start here for the T1 top side.
Yeah, really nicely done. And this is also great from T1 because not only did they pull off that dive, but their bot lane was kind of in a lot of trouble. Guma had been put very low, but they can now cover bot side because Doran just TP's there, and Guma walks top to now lane against Dhokla, who's been put very far behind. So this is really huge for T1, all off of this dive, this early action from Oner. Bails out the T1 bot lane and allows Doran to get out way ahead.
And the state of the waves is really important as well, because on the top side of the map, Guma can hold the wave, making it harder for Dhokla and forcing him to overextend. On the bot side of the map, also the wave in a really good spot for Doran. Notice that it's actually pushing towards him because he held it after the reset had come through. FBI should be able to push this one out, but T1 with really good lane control across the rift.
All right, River showing up mid, just wants to help get this wave shoved in a little bit there. Quid will take the last hit with the Q on the minions, just make sure that that one gets all shoved in.
Up
T1.
one CS mid, huge.
Yep, there you go. T1 trying to go in after Dhokla here now with the Keria and Gumayusi combo. Dhokla can, of course, make a lot of distance here on Ambessa with all that mobility, so it doesn't take a ton of damage, but he's got to play so respectfully around the wave because it's so difficult to walk up to anything other than just EXP range.
Yeah, and I mean, the real danger is if you get redove, right? Like, getting dove once, losing some of the CS really sucks. If you get redove, you're out of the game as Dhokla, so they got to make sure that he can collect this wave. That is the real objective up on that top side. Doran 6, though.
Yeah, he's got the dominus. He's taking the 1v2, and he's taking it aggressively. Eyla jumps in for the headbutt. Pulverized. Doran flashes forward. FBI flashes away. Doran with enough fury there. Call the Meek onto the minion wave, just continuing to push that out. A tale of two top laners as Dhokla can't even approach the wave, and Doran is playing so aggressively in the 1v2, he's forcing FBI and Eyla back.
Yeah, it looked like Doran actually flashed over the arrow, I think, there, because so little damage was done on that timing. It seemed like he fully avoided that damage with the blight stacks there from FBI because 100 Thieves thought they could re-engage off of that initial play and weren't able to thanks to the nice flash from Doran.
And now with Doran forcing those summoner spells in the bottom lane, chunking both of the enemy laners down to half HP, this is a free ticket for T1 to secure a very early first Drake. It's still a minute and a half until the grubs are around, so it's not like they're punished for overloading the bottom side of the map. Really good early game from T1.
They're choosing not to match the waves back to normal. They're going to keep putting the Varus into this Renekton. Eyla, with his TP into bot lane, he'll be able to hold the wave here. So at the very least, 100 Thieves will get something back as the waves have been in a really awkward spot for them for a lot of this early laning phase. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, they'll remember that Quid, after burning his flash very early, actually finds himself with a small CS lead. Faker going to be walking back into mid lane means that he will lose some farm there. So good job on him for being able to claw back the small deficit that he found himself early on.
Yeah, top wave's still bad, though, for Ambessa. Dhokla not having a fun game so far, and Ambessa from behind, it's pretty useless. You know, there's no utility to be talking about here, so he's just going to have to kind of sit here and wait for this to eventually push back towards him, but we'll just be bleeding gold out, just trying to stay in XP range for now, and that's really all he can do. Has just been put in such a difficult position.
And it's one of the most frustrating experiences in League of Legends, knowing that your only option is to sit there, watch the minions die, and just essentially wait your turn.
Yep.
So bot lane did have a free setup, but I was questioning it initially, but with the grub spawning now, they wanted to quickly push out bot, make the rotation up towards top. They know that Renekton doesn't have TP available, so now 100 Thieves will guarantee numbers advantage. Note, though, that with the push in top lane, T1 still have access to the river, but Oner's not really in a good position to contest right now.
I mean, this is classic 100 Thieves. You know, when you watch them in NA, they're going to show up for the objectives. They're going to force fights. They're going to try to bait you into team fights that you maybe shouldn't be taking. But T1 doesn't need to fight. They can just take the advantage down on this bot side. But with Quid being out, T1 now can move in.
Okay, T1 looking for a chance to at least take one of these grubs away with Quid's departure. And it looks like they're going to get just that. Oner and Keria moving into the pit. So 2 grubs over to 100 Thieves, 1 for T1. And again, whenever you split the grubs, even for the team that got 1, it doesn't feel that bad just because the big thing is getting the little Void Mites if you secure all 3. So yes, 100 Thieves is going to get credit towards the feat of monster slaying on that one, but the grubs still get split. And T1 also even on that feat, considering they have the first Drake.
I just keep looking at the scoreboard and I see Doran and the advantage that he's built for
Don't
himself.
look at that. Look elsewhere.
Just
Look
Betty,
a little
that's
bit
your
lower.
mistake. Just
Look at
keep
this
your
83
eyes
gold
need to be
lead in mid lane.
averted.
What about that?
Oh, that's gone.
I mean, well, okay, well, I will for now just
Look at that
highlight.
130 gold lead in bot lane in
that's
support.
valid.
Yeah.
True. I do just briefly want to go back to that Renekton. Level 8 on Doran. Dhokla just now getting to level 8. Nice trade from Dhokla, though, as Odia.
Yeah, River. He's knocked onto the other side of the Weaver's wall, but still the seismic shove is in the right spot, and it forces the flash from River. Big problem there for 100 Thieves for any plays they want to make. Again, it's all about the Wukong and the Alistar for when they try to engage, and Wukong losing his flash means significantly less threat onto these backline carries of Faker and Gumayusi.
I mean, it's Oner having a much more successful early game here. The top side of T1, obviously, all jokes aside, are in a great spot. Dhokla was holding the wave to try to get farm. But problem is, he is up here by himself once again. Does thin that wave, but on the next one, they're going to look to dive, and I just don't think that Dhokla can really do much about it realistically.
Well, we'll see. Right now, he wants to step forward, try to clear out some of that wave a little bit, but Doran immediately popping the Dominus as Oner's ready to try to show up. Dives in with the audacious charge. Public execution from Dhokla. Oner's going to die to the turret shot. Dhokla stays alive for now. Doran's going to try to pick this one up a little bit, but Doran's going to die as well. Big Dokes! 2 for 1 in the top lane.
I'm sorry for doubting you, Dhokla. Bollywood Bin in the top lane takes him down in the 1v2. Massive outplay there, being able to survive. Really did a good job trying to pressure Doran to take, that fight early, then kites back, waits till Oner gets turret aggro, and then hits him with the ulti, stuns him under the tower to take him down.
Flawless execution, but the action isn't over yet.
Now Faker trying to knock Quid back away from him. River is nearby, and right there is a situation where River's flash could have made a difference. Now, he doesn't have the Cyclone anyway, so likely not, but still, let's take another look at how Dhokla outplayed this.
I mean, this was really nicely done. He forces Doran to use the ulti early, but Faker is going to get solo killed by Quid. 100 Thieves are coming to life.
I hope we get a replay of that one. I gotta see how Quid found this. 100 Thieves, first to 3 kills. They secure the feat of warfare, and it looked like that was a solo kill on Faker from Quid.
Gentlemen, 100 Thieves are playing with the name plates off. They do not care what they are facing on the Rift. They're playing with nothing but confidence as they are finding kills across the map.
And Dhokla has his Eclipse done now, so now he's the one in the driver's seat. Ayla's up here. Doran could be the one getting dove.
They want to give Doran a taste of his own medicine. Ayla's going to lead the charge. He makes the dive for the headbutt pull. The flash coming out from Doran, but the exhaust ready to follow, and 100 Thieves make boots out of that crocodile. They find the dive up here in the top lane. It cost them the Drake as T1 are going to secure their second one of those this game. Meanwhile, Faker also mining plates off of the mid lane turret. Gumayusi and Keria mining plates off of the bot lane turret. So there are costs to this play from 100 Thieves, but they're still looking to move aggressively.
This is the stressful thing about playing against T1, is they're still finding gold on the map. They're down in kills, but it doesn't matter because they secure their second dragon, they get plates in mid, they get plates down bot, and overall, the gold advantage is sitting in mid lane and bottom lane. 100 Thieves have showcased they have the mechanics, they have the ability to find these outplays, but T1, for the time being, are running the Rift.
Absolutely are, and we can see this one more time. The seismic shove is there, but Quid gets the Q slow. flashes in, kills him with the Kingslayer. Faker responds on the flash, but Faker's caught out again.
Faker in a bad spot here with the river. Eyla and Quid trying to chase him down and secure it. Quid gets another one. The Sylas running the show for the mid lane. Now up here on the top side, we're going to get yet another trade. Stridebreaker now completed for Doran, but again, that eclipse from Dhokla is so strong. River coming in for the Cyclone. Keria wants to save his top laner, but it's too little. It's too late. 100 Thieves lead the game 6-2.
Dhokla has done a legitimately amazing job to be able to come back from the incredibly difficult situation he was in. He's dove early, the wave is frozen on him, he's lane swapped into a 1v2 way behind, and now has clawed his way back into a 500 gold lead, into a level advantage. Dhokla is just making it work.
We said at the start of this series, be prepared for the unexpected. And I think that this is about as unexpected as we can get. Dhokla finding the 2v1 outplay. Another pick onto Faker as Quid catches him out in the river with the assistance of Eyla. I mean, there's not much to break down here. Faker goes where he is not allowed to go. He does not have the support of his team. And another kill is secured as 100 Thieves are taking control over the map.
100 Thieves playing with confidence. I mean, this is the definition of a vibes team. When things are feeling good, this team feels so ridiculously confident. You can see the graphics there. I can't quite read it.
Yeah,
it's showing that they're a violent team.
Yeah, we're just talking about the kills per minute here, averaging over 1 kill per minute for 100 Thieves and T1, including the games that T1 played in that play-ins match against IG. So both teams can get pretty scrappy. 100 Thieves making this one very PvP heavy early. Quid with a nice abscond to get out of the way of the seismic shove. That means that T1's attempt on him isn't going to work. And honestly, lots of props to both 100 Thieves solo laners here in this game after 15 minutes of play.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Quid, good use of the rocket belt there. Barely gets out to the other side of that seismic shove. Otherwise, I think he is very likely dead. Has no flash. Oner was coming in. And 100 Thieves just trying to keep the ball rolling here. The big question is, can you actually stop T1 at this next dragon, right? Because yes, you're in a pretty good spot, but T1 did get 2 early dragons. They're about to take the first tower here as well. And this next dragon is going to mean so much for the game. If T1 get it, move to Soul Point, it is going to be so tough, I think, to play out the game from there for 100 Thieves.
I think the Rift Tower is really important for 100 Thieves, though, because when I think about playing into Taliyah with Sylas, that siege is not the strongest. We talked a lot about in draft how relatively short range on the side of 100 Thieves. You really have to get into the face of your opposition, and this tower should really help open up that mid lane tower, which once that has gone, that deeper vision into the enemy jungle is going to be that much more valuable for finding those skirmishes and control that you're going to need in the mid to late game.
All right, 1 minute on that Drake that you point out, Isaac, is so very important for both teams. T1 taking that objective puts them in a great spot, and it also has the extra importance of T1 took first turret. 100 Thieves were first to 3 kills. Both teams stand with 2 neutral objectives thus far. Whichever team, secures this Drake will also then have the upgraded boots as the game goes on for just that extra bit of power.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see, can Eyla actually get to his first item? Because Keria already has the redemption. Not having that is such a big difference maker in a fight like this. Redemption really can change the game completely. Dhokla trying to pressure this tower here, but does have to still give respect over to Doran, who has that Stridebreaker completed now.
And you can see, look at the vision being placed down by T1 around this Dragon Pit area. They've got wards in the side brush of mid lane. They're setting up wards in the tri-brush here in bottom lane. They want total control. They want to see where 100 Thieves are coming from, when they're trying to arrive. River goes over the wall here towards the Drake Pit. He has Eyla off to his left. Oner jumps in after the Wukong, stabs him with the wind, becomes lightning. Not a huge trade on either side, but Oner still wins it, and T1 are ready to start the objective.
T1 kick this one off. Their positioning is good.
Okay, nice little bit of poke coming out with FBI. TP coming in. Rift Herald summoned up. Looks like we might get a Combat Herald on this one as the Weaver's Wall. Nice use there from Faker. River still looking for the opportunity to try to go in and steal. Quid off on the bottom side. Rest 100 Thieves going in after the Drake. They're going to steal it away. Keria's about to die to Quid. He falls. Quid takes the kill as the rest of T1 scrambles to try to fight. Solar Flare's not going to find much. Oner takes more damage from FBI. Faker looks to fire back, and FBI is going to be caught by the seismic shove. Oner takes the kill on that one. 100 Thieves in full retreat. Doran on the chase, but he's already lost the dominance. Stridebreaker on Eyla. Oner goes in for a double kill. T1 take the fight, and they aren't done yet. Quid tries to escape. Oner wants to win, becomes lightning, but he can't quite make it strike. He jumps in anyway, as Quid wants to sidestep the seismic shove, but he's still taking a ton of damage. 100 Thieves has overstayed their welcome, and Quid cannot use his Kingslayer in time. T1 may lose the Drake, but they'll take 3 kills. They'll take the mid lane turret, and they'll take the lead.
And it all came down to FBI not flashing the seismic shove. That is what decides the fight, because Quid had a beautiful start to the fight, pulling Keria over the wall here. Keria flashes in, throws the exhaust down, but look at this. Flash over, pulls him over with his Zenith Blade, gets the free kill onto Keria. River steals the dragon, and then you're thinking this is going to be 100 Thieves win as long as they play it slow. But FBI walks forward here and gets caught by the seismic shove. You have got to flash that. Does not, dies for free, and it allows T1 to pile in and take the fight.
I think the positioning of Doran in that fight was so good as well, because Eyla, he got a beautiful flash backline knockup, and I thought that the Wukong was immediately going to come in with the follow-up, but Doran made it so difficult for the rest of 100 Thieves to follow up on that engage, which meant that T1 could buy enough time to disengage and find the re-engage, and then they hunted the Thieves down into their own jungle, closing that kill gap.
And there's the payoff of T1's early Drake focus. Sure, they aren't on Soul Point, but the pressure of that possibility threatened 100 Thieves into taking the fight, which T1 then had the confidence and the skill to execute on and give themselves now over a 1,000 gold lead. There's no Baron on the clock for another 5 minutes still. The next Drake is still 3 minutes away, but Otacon is about to spawn in the top side just 10 seconds from now.
It is over 1K gold lead, but at the same time, it's feats for 100 Thieves, right? So this is a very close game. And that one really came down to execution. FBI absolutely going to want that fight back. If he flashes that, it's a totally different story. At the very least, 100 Thieves just walk out with the dragon. At the most, maybe they can get a bunch of kills and try to turn that into something more. But you're right, it's about Otacon now. And 100 Thieves trying to get up there, reclaim some vision on that top side. T1 is a team that is not afraid of just starting the Otacon, forcing your hand. Quid is just going to let the tower die to deny the local gold here, realizing that's probably not going to be defensible for long anyway. So I think that's a totally reasonable choice.
And the top lane tier 1 tower on T1's side is also just barely hanging on. A big thing about Otacon fights is making sure that the enemy team does not have the nearby tier 1 turret to try to retreat towards after a fight. It can make a huge difference in getting a punish, winning a fight, all sorts of situations. T1 still standing with a little bit could be a big difference maker. But again, if 100 Thieves gets the opportunity to try to push, they will be able to secure it easily.
Oh,
as the Scryer's Trinket is going to see the Otacon. It's T1 immediately deciding they want the objective. They've already got it down to 1/3 HP. I think 100 Thieves might be a little bit late to the party. Nice Weaver's Wall coming out from Faker. River wants to go in and try to steal it away. He got it! 100 Thieves steal the objective. But what about the fight? T1's already taken out the enemy jungler. Eyla might be next to fall. Gumayusi gets the kill. And Dhokla's next on the chopping block. T1, they lose the objective, but again, they get 3 kills instead.
T1 just keep coming out ahead in the fights. 100 Thieves couldn't quite secure kills onto Faker or Keria, and Doran leading the charge with Gumayusi at his back means that T1 set their sights on the tier 2 tower.
Yeah, it's just so tough. They can't finish off any of those kills. So yes, you do get the Otacon. It stops it from being a total disaster, but Quid is going to have to back off, and that means it is now a 3.7K gold lead with it, that tier 2 taken.
Quid stealing away the Dominus, wants to use it aggressively here. Doran and Gumayusi just going to step away. As soon as the abduct does not hit, Doran and Gumayusi know they are safe. 100 Thieves, sure you're feeling good about getting these last 2 objectives, but that gold lead is nothing to joke about. T1 feeling very far ahead now.
It feels like 100 Thieves are so close to winning out on these fights, but you'll see in this instance, the fact that River even gets into the pit was crazy enough. Faker with a beautiful ultimate River gets super close. Eyla then with the quick follow-up, he's able to steal the objective, and that ulti from Dhokla onto Faker on the backline as well, locking down the crucial carry. But 100 Thieves are clumping up into this small space, and Guma's doing so much damage from the Tribe Rush.
And I mean, the biggest difference is Quid's just not there, right? Quid is walking for base the entire fight. It's a 5v4, so you get in, you take the Otacon, you almost kill those people. If Quid was there, they're probably just dead instantly, off of that great engage from Dhokla. But T1 forcing the objective once again. They start up the Dragon, but 100 Thieves reclaiming space in the area. Quid's looking to steal a good ult.
T1, 2-1 in Drake so far. Dragon down to half HP. 100 Thieves on the approach. The Weaver's Wall has to be separated. Quid in the middle of everybody. Zhao ulti stolen. Quid gonna be focused here for now, but he's still staying alive in the moment. Keria taken down to about nothing. Dhokla in the back line. He wants Gumayusi, but he can't find him. FBI's under pressure, but he stays alive as well. Both top laners out of the picture. Dragon, 3k HP. Redemption coming in for 100 Thieves as Oner tries to jump forward. Now he's gonna be your target. River's next to fall. The Drake goes over to T1. Quid jumps back over the wall. He wants the abduct, and he's lucky he didn't get it. Oner at 1 HP, a double kill of it to Gumayusi, a piercing arrow over the wall from FBI. There are dead bodies in both jerseys all over the Dragon Pit, and now Faker is looking for more. He wants another rock here onto FBI, onto Eyla. His seismic shove will not hit. Gumayusi coming around to try to help him. Ayla's next to fall. It's a 4 for 2 plus Drake for T1.
T1 play at the edge of death time and time again. It felt so close that at a single moment the fight could swing, but Gumayusi, the man doesn't drop. The man continues to dish out damage, and he is dominating in this first game.
He really is, but I gotta give credit. Whoa.
Whoa.
Faker getting a little bit nervous about that Q, and now he's getting TP'd on, and he has no stasis and no flash.
Yeah, Faker might need to be nervous about something else as immediately Quid arrives, but there's so much distance already for the Taliyah. Tagged by the Proto Belt. Quid misses the abduct yet again with Gumayusi showing up in a seismic shove connecting. It means Quid's chance at grabbing that kill is gone.
I mean, Dhokla just keeps getting into the backline in these fights, but the Wukong can never get there with him. The Sylas can never get there with him. He hits the ulti onto Faker, got him low, got Guma low, got the barrier out. But they need that assistance. It can't be a solo mission from Dhokla. Ayla's looking for an engage.
Yeah, Eyla knocks Oner up into the air. Defensive Zhao ulti to keep Oner protected. Dhokla dives in for the public execution. Oner's gonna take a ton of burst, and he drops first. Keria's next to go if he's not careful. Doran to the back of 100 Thieves, and they scramble defensively. Doran's next to Baron.
They go
The
Baron!
front line on T1 is down as Baron spawns onto Summoner's Rift. 100 Thieves have 5v3, and T1 wants nothing to do with Baron.
They gotta give it up. What an engage from Eyla there as 100 Thieves finds Oner right before the spawn of Baron here. He says, you've gone too far. We know that Faker's back in base. We know that the rest of T1 isn't here to support. So they just force it. Dhokla hits another great ult. They're in on the Oner. They take him out. And then Doran TPing in. 100 Thieves make the call. Turn on the teleport. Burst down the Renekton.
100 Thieves have so much resilience as they do not slow down in any game that they play. Every opportunity they fish for, every fight they will look to take, and that fight could very well have been a game changer. T1 hold on to the gold lead for now. It is Oner and Gumayusi where a lot of this gold is sitting, but I keep turning my attention to the man in the mid lane, Quid, getting closer and closer to level 16. The standing gold of this mid tier 1, the bot tier 1, these towers are up for grabs. 100 Thieves are not down and out just yet.
Okay, so Faker's armband is still broken. Quid now has a functional armband of his own. Red Bull Baron power play at plus 2,000. Gold lead for T1 at only plus 1,500. Important to note as well, look at the timers on the Baron and the Infernal Drake. They're going to expire, pop, whatever you want to call it, at about exactly the same moment, which means 100 Thieves are going to have control
They're
of
going to
the
look for a
Rift,
fight right here.
Up to the Drake. Now Keria gets over the wall with a blast cone. River jumps in, pops a cyclone on Faker. That was
that was not the fight they wanted.
Got a little bit too excited, but hey, they're still going to force T1 back. They're still going to take the tier 1 turret down here in the bottom lane.
That top lane, though, Doran pushed it in extremely deep. Someone from 100 Thieves needs to go and catch it. They're kind of over-grouping on this bot side while they were fishing for that fight. A flash commit from River was very deep when they should have just focused on securing this tower. This Baron has been a great neutralizer as they've closed that gold gap, been able to secure a couple of extra items, but a little bit too deep there from 100 Thieves.
I mean, I think he maybe thought Eyla was still going to be able to get in behind him, but that is such a big mistake actually by River, because now you do not have flash for the pivotal fight, for the soul fight that is likely to decide the game here. If T1 gets that, I think it's lights out. So that is going to be a massive resource missing now for them. Also have to note that not only is it the Seekers that's broken, Faker's not even building towards Zhonias.
The key thing for both sides is 100 Thieves looking to dive onto that backline. Having good angles to flank from, having those flashes available is going to be key. For T1, it's about playing that front to back, that slower style, making sure that this Sylas does not get on top of your Corki. The target selection from Keria is going to be so important, as Guma is yet to die in this game. This Corki is a monster. As Quid, he face checks.
Yeah, Quid face checking right into the brush. He's gonna get punished here. Remember, he still has the arm guard, but the chain CC. Quid's alive, but only at 50 health. The Sylas is the target, and T1 has already found him. Keria is gonna be focused down by 100 Thieves. Gumayusi under pressure from River, but T1's already found a double for Oner. Gumayusi low. Dhokla needs to get the kill, and he finds Gumayusi. Dhokla flashes back over the wall. Faker wants to take him out, but he doesn't have the damage. FBI gets a double as Oner falls. Beautiful play from Dhokla to salvage the fight. Quid gets caught, but it's 100 Thieves taking out 3 for 2. And gentlemen, one of the 3 is the enemy jungler. Faker
TP.
trying to save things, trying to look for River here, who has to use the clone to juke away.
Dokla's TPing deep.
Dhokla looking to cut off Faker's escape here. The teleport coming in on top of the wave. Faker's got to be aware of this. Pathing through the jungle, making sure he stays safe.
They've done
but
it.
The mission is accomplished. Soul is averted. 100 Thieves keeping the game so close.
It was supposed to be a disastrous fight for 100 Thieves. Quid with the face check, he was supposed to die, and T1 was supposed to have the numbers advantage. But the resilience pays off. Quid buys so much time using Oner's ultimate. He drops the arm guard as well, and the rest of the Thieves collapse. Eyla with a quick flash onto the backline. River targets Guma, and that was enough for Dhokla to clean up the fight.
Yeah, Dhokla has just been team fighting beautifully, helping out FBI there. And then again, look at that ult. He finds it past Doran onto Guma, gets in, takes him out, flashes out, and is able to survive. Every fight, Dhokla has hit a good ulti in onto the backline. Look at the emotions on the 100 Thieves coaches there. Golden Glue, huge reactions. They are still in it. This game is almost dead even, but still, it is on that knife's edge. One fight this late in the game with Soul on the table for T1 really could decide it.
Guma had a 2k gold lead over FBI. FBI finally reclaims the gold advantage. 4 items finished for this lethality Varus. The gold is dead even. 100 Thieves continue to make magic happen as slowly but surely they are bringing this game to T1.
Some huge purchases, though, for T1. Faker now obviously has that Zhonias, did actually complete it before that last fight. And the GA is here now for Oner as well. Those are the 2 players with the gold lead. And those are the 2 players that are going to be so hard to take down. How much gold does Quid have in pocket? 1,400, so he's working towards his Zhonias. Really needs to try to get that before the next major fight, because the Seekers is doing him no favors. But as you said, Vetty, FBI, cheaper build, up a little bit in gold. That means he has 4 completed items.
Baron spawning in 30 seconds. The previous Baron was the big turning point here. As remember before that, it was T1 with a 4,000 gold lead, but the pick from Eyla's play ended up setting up 100 Thieves to get that Baron uncontested. Now with the second one about to spawn, it's 100 Thieves with control over the pit, and T1 not wanting to let another one of these slip away. Dhokla finally going to secure that tier 1 turret up there in the top side, bring this gold back to almost exactly even after 31 minutes of play. Doran is in the bottom side. He's pushing to tier 2. 100 Thieves are going to demand his attention now as they start up the Baron. It's not dropping particularly quickly, but it is already down to half HP. Quid stealing away the enemies in Zhao ulti. Oner and the rest of T1 trying to scramble to make this fight. Weaver's Wall is going to separate 100 Thieves, but there's no damage done by T1. 100 Thieves are still disengaging for now as T1 will do the same.
FBI tried to time his Chains of Corruption onto the teleport. He whiffed it. It was early. Couldn't land that. That would have been critical. If he hits that, I think they can 100-0 Doran there and then go right back onto the Baron. Doran TP'd into such a dangerous location.
They also put a lot of stress onto Doran because he wanted to go back, purchase the Sterak's, and then TP into the fight. But I think that they thought what you thought, Flowers, which is that this Baron shouldn't die that quick. But it just melted. It was disappearing. Doran had to get involved in the fight. He joins early, but then the fight is disengaged. And Quid, my goodness, the level of confidence he was playing at the edge there, he was forcing Guma back. He was threatening a dive onto Faker. He knew that he had Eyla at his back. And
They're going to start it again.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason not to. Put the pressure onto T1 once again.
Okay, Doran's going to be the first to see what's going on here. Quid not going to hit Abscond, Abduct. T1 needs to try to approach this. The Baron is dropping again, down to half HP already. Oner over the wall. River has been winning the smite fights here so far in this game. 100 Thieves looking to peel away now as Eyla charges in for the headbutt pull, but it's not going to connect. Eyla now going to be the target here with the redemption coming down, but Keria is first to die. 100 Thieves already have the first kill. River's going to the back line. He wants Faker and Guma. T1's killed River, but what about the rest of the fight? Quid into the back. Faker staying alive, trying to kite him out. Dhokla with a little bit more damage, but he's down. 100 Thieves overstep, and T1 have been the best team in the world so many years for exactly this reason.
100 Thieves thought they had their moment, and T1 just turned it around on them. Look at this engagement, and they're able to go in. The flash from Guma to avoid the combo from Eyla, but then the re-engage from River. It's looking so good for them as T1 goes into the blender. They knock down Guma, and you're thinking, this is the time. This is where they're going to win. But Oner comes back up with a GA, and look at Doran. Faker gets the stasis off at no HP, and Doran just crushes them.
FBI flashes into melee range of the Renekton. The flick gets all three, and Doran's like, welcome to the meat grinder. Baron is secured, the soul will be secured, and just like that,
that's the game.
T1 will snuff out the hopes of 100 Thieves.
Exactly, you look at the point where a game breaks when you're looking back at a VOD in League of Legends, and that right there is where the game broke. Baron plus Soul now, 34 minutes into the game. It's gone from on a knife's edge to firmly now in the favor of T1.
Such a close team fight that a few decisions could have changed so much. Such an impressive overall game from 100 Thieves, and to be honest, they've impressed me so many times this game. I won't count them out just yet. They've shown so much tenacity and so much creativity. Big Dhokla will set his sights on the enemy AD carry. Let's see if he can lock down Guma as T1 threaten the siege through the bot lane.
I mean, it's going to take a miracle at this point, this far behind, but like you said, one different decision, a couple little things, and that could have been their team fight, their Baron, them on Soul Point, in a very different story. But now T1 looking to put the finishing touches on this game number one. Soul plus a 4K advantage, you know, that's basically 10K worth of stats and good ways to apply it. The Corki poke is going to be such a problem here now for 100 Thieves.
T1 on the push in the bottom lane. No Guardian Angel on Oner, so he will have to be a little bit more careful with his front lining as 100 Thieves group up as 5. They know their task right now is defense, defense, defense for the next 60 seconds. I think if you're 100 Thieves, what you're looking at is 4.5 minutes from now. The great equalizer, the Elder Dragon. They have to hold on, not allow the base to be absolutely crushed before that point. And it looks like they're doing a good job holding for now as T1 have their next wave ready to push bottom lane. Faker going to use the Weaver's Wall to guarantee that this outer barrier goes down. Now the inhibitor exposed here in the bottom lane. Quid stealing away the Zhao ulti yet again. Wants to have that defensive capability here in what could be the last team fight of the game. 100 Thieves thinking about their moment. River has a Guardian Angel of his own. T1, they'll take the turret, but the inhib still stands and they back away at least for the next minion wave. 25 seconds remaining on the Baron, and Keria is heading home.
You can see how cautious T1 are with their siege. They know that if 100 Thieves can close that gap, they have some serious damage threats onto their carries, and they refuse to give them that space. So they slowly chip away, but 100 Thieves protect their inhibitors. They hold the line for now. The Baron will wear off. And even though T1 have gained a lot of gold off the back of that Baron, we're kind of at the end of the game. These itemization differences aren't that significant. A fight can still be all it takes for 100 Thieves to turn this game around. T1, hold on to the driver's seat for now. The next objective, not for another 2.5 minutes. Let's see if T1 can secure any more objectives or if 100 Thieves will hold the line.
Some pretty huge gold leads, though, on that T1 side. You can see Asterix now completed for Oner. He's an entire item ahead of River.
Yeah.
River does have his GA active, but Oner is going to have his GA active before the Elder, before that really important fight. And Guma very likely to be that full 6 items. FBI isn't going to get there even with that cheaper build. And there is that 6th item purchased up by Guma. So T1 in an incredible spot. Of course, it's always possible. I don't think T1 is going to give the flip to 100 Thieves, though. They don't need to flip it. They just need to look for the fight, utilize their advantages to be able to secure a team fight win and not allow it to come down to a smite for Elder, because if they allow that flip and River wins it, that is the possibility for 100 Thieves.
I mean, you've got Taliyah and Corki with an Infernal Soul. Your poking capability is very, very high. Yes, the enemy team has lethality Varus, but T1 has plenty of tools of their own. They've taken away the enemy's full team red buff. They've secured their own full team blue buff. They're feeling very confident in this last couple of minutes leading up to the Elder, as Quid has to constantly make sure he's answering the push in the bottom lane from Doran. Because that tier 3 turret is already down, if you leave the Croc alone in the bottom lane for just a little bit of time, the inhibitor is seriously threatened.
And Quid is just desperately trying to get enough gold for the death cap, right? He has both the components. He needs about 400 more gold. So he may be able to get it. You know, if he can get some jungle camps, get some of these extra waves, should barely be able to get there, but we'll see if he has time. A kill would definitely help.
Yeah, Doran now going to be caught by the abduct. Quid going in, steals Dominus. Doran in a pretty bad spot here, does have to slice and dice his way away. Now the Weaver's Wall is used there by Faker, but remember, this is level 18 Taliyah. The Elder is still 80 seconds away. That cooldown's going to be back in time.
The big thing for me is Doran's ultimate being used. It's relatively low, but Quid's is even lower. Level 18 Sylas, he's going to be able to steal another one.
It's back.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So ahead of this objective, actually I say that, I'm looking at these timers, still a ways away. I thought they were much sooner, so I expect Doran's ulti to be back.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, Faker, I'm going to check the cooldown on it. So, yeah, still going to have it. They're both going to have those ultimates, no problem. But was a good look there from Quid. And unfortunately, they can't really find anything on that timer.
He's got the death cap.
Yep, he's got the hat. And now Baron is alive, 25 seconds ahead of the Elder. Quid stealing away the Xinjiang ulti yet again. River looking towards Faker, but the unraveled Earth means no way he can try to use the Nimbus Strike to close the gap over that 100 Thieves. This is it. If they want to have any chance coming back and winning this first game, they're going to need to get a team fight win here. They're going to need to get the Elder after. Keria takes a bit of poke there, so they'll feel okay about that one. But again, it's nothing that's going to change the game. Quid goes into the middle of everybody. He's shielded up with his Zhao ulti. Into the back line goes Dhokla. Keria's under threat, but Dhokla doesn't have the damage. He's going to be knocked into the resurrection here for the Guardian Angel. Quid has to keep making a little bit more space as Dhokla tries to retreat. Gumayusi goes in, and Dhokla is down. T1 managed to survive the dive. They outplay 100 Thieves, and Elder Dragon is about to be their target.
100 Thieves are hesitant to back away from this objective. They know that this is their way back into the game. They don't have Dhokla available. 45 seconds until the top laner is back. The HP is low for Quid. Even if they trap the Renekton, is it really going to be enough?
Okay, Quid steals Dominus yet again. Elder Dragon targeted by T1. They've got a 5v4. Quid's only at 40% HP. Eyla focused down. He's dead immediately. T1 have their first kill. Quid wants to take Keria, but it's not going to matter because Doran's already killed FBI. T1 on the victory push. Doran goes over the wall and Quid has to flash away from Solar Flare. River and Quid in full retreat. T1 in hot pursuit. River trying to juke with a bit of a clone prank, but it's not going to work well enough. Quid is already dead. Faker has cut off River's escape. It will not matter that he has Guardian Angel because the Angels are not listening. T1 will stop 100 Thieves' chances dead in their tracks. It's a 5-0 delayed ace. Dhokla's back to life, but the inhibitor is first to fall, and it's only a sign of things immediately to come. The Nexus turrets will melt. 100 Thieves fought hard, but T1 is T1, and they are not gonna fall in this first game. 24-16, they'll take game one.